I have spent a lot of my life playing video games on all sorts of different platforms, but none of them can compare to my favorite console of all time, the Nintendo Entertainment System. So today I thought I'd talk about some of my most beloved NES games. Before I begin, keep in mind that this is a list of my favorite games, not necessarily what I consider the best on the system. Second, I'm only doing one game per franchise, and that'll allow me to keep things a bit more diverse. And finally, this is a list of NES games, so you won't find anything from the Famicom here, but I might do that list later on down the road. And with that out of the way, this is my top 20 NES games of all time, Part 1. Number 20. Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I spent countless hours on this game back when I was young. Why is it so low on the list? Well, that's because it's complete bullshit. This is one of those games that really defined NES hard back in the day, and not always in a fair way. Despite its shortcomings, the controls aren't bad. It's awesome being able to swap turtles on the fly, and it really felt like an open world experience back when I was a kid. And you know, while this game may not be amazing, I still have fun playing it to this— Oh, come on! Number 19. Crystalis is a truly underrated gem of an action RPG. In this game, a horrible war has decimated humanity in the distant year of 1997. You wake up from cryostasis and it's time to get a sword and start smacking bitches with it. This game kinda plays like Zelda, but with experience points, gold, and all that good shit. And it's got some cool boss battles. It's a damn good time that doesn't get enough run when people discuss the system. I only put it so low because I became aware of it relatively recently, like back in 1999. God, I am old. Number 18. This is one of those NES movie games that I really don't think gets enough credit. I remember renting this one back in the day when it came out and being floored at the time by how big it felt. You get to ride a Tauntaun, fight Wampas and Walkers, and it does an okay job following the movie going from Hoth to Dagobah and on to Bespin and Cloud City. You get all sorts of force powers and pretty much everything is improved from the previous NES Star Wars game. It can feel a touch clunky, but overall it's a lot of fun to play. Number 17. This is another one of those NES licensed games that I think tends to get overshadowed a bit, but it is still a damned fine experience in its own right. You play as Buster Bunny with the option of choosing one of 3 companions who each have their own special skills. Plucky can float and is the best swimmer, Furball can stick to walls, and Dizzy Devil can do the whole tornado thing. I love the way this game looks, and it has a pretty neat soundtrack. The characters are a little slippery, but the gameplay is solid. Now, if it weren't for all those cheap moments. Really? Suddenly the barrels are just going to be explosive? But I can't help but love this one. Number 16. Yeah, I know this is kind of a weird choice, but it is my list, and Paperboy for NES is kinda special to me. I had some really great times playing it with friends back when I was a kid. For those of you who haven't played it, the objective is to deliver papers while the world tries to murder you in increasingly horrible and improbable ways. I have never been good at this game, and yes, it can be frustrating as fuck, but you know what? It sure does know how to put a smile on my face. Number 15. I love the Wizards and Warriors games, and Iron Sword was my initial introduction to the series. Yeah, the main character may hold his sword like a dipshit, and the actual combat is surprisingly awful for the most part, but the game overall still manages to be a whole lot of fun. The sprites look really nice, and the whole game just feels big in scale. The bosses are huge, and it is satisfying to take them out. Oh, the memories. Number 14. I have vivid recollections of getting into an argument at the lunch table in elementary school when people absolutely refused to believe that this game existed. But they never made a Goonies 2, they would say to me. And their incredulousness is understandable, seeing as how this is a sequel to a movie-licensed Famicom game that never was released in America other than the version for arcades. This game owes a lot to Metroid in the sense that you have a massive open world to explore, which opens up as you discover new tools and items. And it is fan-goddamn-tastic provided you have the patience to walk around smacking 3D walls with a hammer or your fists to find hidden shit. And there's a mermaid because Japan. Plus, just listen to that 8-bit Cyndi Lauper. Number 13. Here's another big NES game with a somewhat Metroid-esque structure. You play as a dude in a tank, and you have to wander around until you find doorways, which may lead to a dead end, some power-ups, or a big ol' boss enemy. Kill the boss, and get the upgrades for your tank to continue and explore. This is a game that felt massive when I first played it, and despite it being hard as balls, it is still awesome. And it may just have the greatest story ever told. Genius. Number 12. A Boy and His Blob. It kinda sounds like they came up with the name before the design phase actually began, but fuck it, because I love this game. It comes from David Crane, the dude what made Pitfall. You play as a boy and you've got a blob, and there are these jelly beans that turn him into junk. You use this junk to explore caverns, get treasure, and eventually return to the blob's homeworld of Blobalonia in order to save it. The boy controls a little stiffly, but man was this game innovative. I just loved playing around with the different transformations when I was a kid. Plus, you can do stuff like this. Number 11. Motherfucking Punch-Out! This is easily one of the most beloved games on the entire system. And it kills me to have it so low on this list, but I have to have games above it. My hands are tied. The setup is simple. You're a boxer named Little Mac and you have to punch people until they fall down. When I was a kid, I would bite the inside of my cheeks while playing this game because of how tense the gameplay was. Do I even need to explain how goddamn good this classic is? It's fun, it's tough, and the inside of my mouth will never be the same. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching part 1 of my first ever countdown. Part 2 will be coming very shortly. You all know the drill by now. Please click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, including part 2 of this countdown, and please, in the comments, let me know what your favorite NES games are and what you think of this list so far. Share this video with absolutely everyone that you can, and I will see you next time.